Hi, and welcome to the 9th episode of the Knits and Tales podcast. My name is Amy. I live in Henderson, Kentucky with my 3 children, my fiance Dawn, 2 cats, and a dog. It has been a very long time, and if I keep looking out here, I'm waiting for my kids to go to the park, so I'm kind of watching them go out the window because I talked the 17-year-old into taking them to the park so that I could record, because it has been a hot minute. And I think this is probably my eighth start. So I think I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to roll with it. If anything happens, sorry, this is life. I do not have very many finished objects. I have 3 finished objects. I am the type of person that I never thought of myself like this, I'm very routine oriented. Do the same thing every day, and if something doesn't go the way it always goes, then my whole day is thrown off and my whole life is thrown off. And well, when you move 10 states away, a lot gets thrown off. So we've had a lot of very big changes in our family and in our lives, so knitting time has taken a back seat. Fortunately now things are kind of calming down. You could hear the doors. That's the kids finally leaving the house. Thank you. So change has happened and knitting had to take a back burner, but I did get 3 objects finished, and I have finally decided, I'm finally figuring out when I can sneak in those knitting minutes, because my life went from not busy at all to incredibly busy. So that's been a big change, and we'll talk all about that in life updates and all that stuff at the end. But for right now, we're going to get right into the knitting. First finished object is, I have worn this. It is clean. It just has dog hair everywhere, just like everything that I own. These are the Morning Coffee Socks by Kay Litton of Crazy Sock Lady Co. I really love this pattern. This is probably, if I don't want to do vanilla, this is the pattern I go to. It's a 6-row repeat, and it's absolutely amazing, and I love it. The yarn is, I got it from Hobby, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Fish Lips Kiss Heel. I did 10 rows of the repeat and then 14 rows on the cuff, and I think it turned out amazing. It fits perfect. I've decided that Fish Lips Kiss Heel is the heel I will probably, it's pretty much my vanilla sock recipe, because it fits me so much better than any other sock. And I really don't like doing heel flap and gusset. I can do it, I just don't like to, because I'm a lazy knitter. Shh, don't tell anybody. Oh, I don't really care. I'm a lazy knitter. I have too much going on, and I have to put projects down to pick them up, put them down, pick them up. So I am a very lazy knitter. Vanilla is my friend. Second finished object is only finished because of We Share Needles. I am very thankful for their new knit along. It's the Books and Beanies Mal, and they're co-hosting it with Professor Pearl by Musselburgh. I checked my Ravelry. There it is. I made it a little shorter so that I can just do a very tiny flipped brim, so it's not super slouchy. I think it turned out really cute. I love it. But then again, Musselburghs it's probably my favorite pattern because it's so simple and mindless. I love the pattern. I think this is my 7th. And I will probably, after the summer, cast on another, just because I like to have them. And actually, I'm looking at some yarn that I need to cast on to have done before Christmas. And I know it's crazy, it's only May, and I'm thinking about Christmas, but I have come to be quite the selfish knitter, and I want to knit all the things, but I want to knit all the things for me. So I need to sneak in some gift knitting here and there. I do have another finished object that I am not going to show because it is currently packed and ready to go off to its new home. It's been packed and ready to go off to its new home for about 3 weeks now. Oops. Sorry, Mom. I promise that your Mother's Day present will be there sometime before the new year. Okay, and my last finished object is actually what helped me get my my knitting mojo back after the move. My friend Amber, I said, what do I need to do? I want to use this skein. What do I need to use it for? She said, crop top. So I fought back all my insecurities about crop tops and decided that I wear old lady leggings anyway, and they are very high-waisted, so I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try and do this without giving you a boob shot because the setup is very confining. My bed is like 3 inches from where my hand ends, so it's very kind of in a cramped space. So I'm going to try and show this to you without too much in your face. This is my Summer Secret crop top by Jessie Maed, and it is a bit cropped, but like I said, I wear it with my leggings, so there's not, you don't really see anything. Even if I put my arms up, there's like no skin, but it's still kind of out of my comfort zone. The one thing that I do need to change is I need to take the straps off and reattach them a little closer, like in this way, because the straps tend to fall because of where I attached them. Okay, that was fun. So those are all my finished objects. 4 isn't bad in two months with everything that's been going on, but I'm glad to be getting like back into my knitting groove and getting my mojo back, which is, it's really disconcerting when something you love so much feels like a task and you're just like, I want to, but I'm so tired, I don't want to. Like, I wanted it and I want to find the joy in knitting that I used to have, but now it's just kind of turning into a chore, and I just don't want to. After dinner is done and, you know, kids are calming down and everything, I just want to play on my phone or go to sleep. So that's normally what I did. But thankfully now I'm finding those little moments where I can fit in my knitting, and housework and home stuff isn't as hectic because we're finally in a groove. Everybody's kind of getting into a routine and knows what's expected of them. So things are finally calming down and I'm able to knit. First work in progress I am going to show you is something that I have put in I need to calm down and I just need to talk like normal. My Busy Bean cup from Freda, Washington. Still my favorite cup. I have a red one. They're my favorite cups ever. So the project I'm going to show you is in hibernation for no reason other than the fact that it's not bringing me joy. It should, because of what it is. It's simple garter stitch, but I'm not a huge fan of purple, and I didn't pick out the colors for this shawl. So I love how it's turning out. I'm just not loving working on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm putting it in hibernation because it is time for summer sock camp and I should not be working on anything but socks. Okay. I am doing this on High Sharps US 6 4mm, and it's just a regular simple triangle shawl, and I did some fun stripes, and I'm gonna keep going. It's gonna be, I thought it was gonna be a 3 skein shawl and I was gonna end it with 5 or 6 different minis. I decided against that because I'm not enjoying it now, and I have about 30 grams of the main color and 50 grams of the darker purple to go, so I figured it was easier just to say, okay, it's going to be 2 skein shawl instead of hating absolutely every stitch and end up just not frogging it, but just never touching it again. So that is in hibernation. I have it in my cute little sea otter bag that I got from Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. And it lives by the side of my bed, so that if I didn't plan on knitting, so I didn't bring anything in with me when we relax for the night, and I choose to knit, it's garter. It's super simple, easy. I don't even have to look at it. I can stare off into space and do it if I want to. So that's whip number 1. Whip number 2 is in my favorite bag of all time, made by my friend Amber. Love this bag. It's my favorite bag. All her bags are my favorite bags. I love her bags. I wish she had an Etsy shop so I could be like, okay, so I need like 10 more bags. But she doesn't. She just makes them for fun, and I think she's crazy because I think they're beautiful and amazingly well made. This one, I finally decided what I was going to use all my neon minis from Bucks and Cat Knits is Tainted Love. I'm making the Versaides Unite. Not very far. But this is the first part, and I'm head over heels in love with it, and I'm really sad that I brought it out because now I want to work on it, but I need to work on socks. So in order to use the minis, I kind of had a heart attack there for a minute because I thought I messed up and used this because this is supposed to be for section 3, but I didn't. It's just the way everything was laid in the bag. What I did is I went through the yardage of each color and chose the amount of minis that I would need to get to that yardage. So I have them in little bags. This is my color C. This is my color B. And this is my color D. So it's going to be very scrappy, very neon, very bright, and very crazy. And I'm going to love it. Every stitch, and I'm going to love every minute of making it and every minute of wearing it. But again, it's probably going to take a back seat for a minute because it's somersault camp. And I've known about somersault camp for 2 years. The first year I had 0 sock yarn, had 0 money to get sock yarn. So I just kind of watched everybody else do it. Then last year, I don't know what happened. I didn't end up, oh, I hadn't made socks yet. Like the one pair of socks I made, I hated. I don't even know why I hated them, but I hated doing it, so I swore I'd never make socks again. That's a big fat lie. Thanks to Sue, because my friend Sue from Australia was convinced because I love hats so much I should love knitting socks, and well, now I do. They are my favorite thing to make. So, my next whip, well, it's a hoe, actually. Not even really a hoe. I got ends everywhere, but I did the jelly roll pattern, and I modified it a bit. Next time I do it, I'm going to do the ribbing, probably, obviously, the next sock like this, I'm going to do the same as this one. But the next time I do this pattern, I think I'm going to move the ribbing part up, but I like start at like 5, like right here, and bring it out to here. I think that'll fit better. But instead of doing the 1x1, I think it's a slip stitch pattern for this part, I did a 1x1 rib, and I really like the fit and the feel of it. So I would not be surprised if I don't do this a lot more with my socks. I was pretty proud of myself for figuring this part out. I've always been super intimidated by the double rolled cuff, and then I realized it's basically a 3-needle bind off. So while it's not as simple as cast on, knit, do a heel, do a foot, do a toe, it's really not that much more difficult. It just takes a little bit of fiddling for one row. This yarn is from Kimber's Creation. This right here is Whip It Out, and this is Movie Knitting. This is made for Maddie. This is made for Kristen. They are from the We Share Needles podcast, which is my all-time favorite podcast. I was going to say of all time. I just said that. It is my absolutely favorite podcast. I love those girls, and I'm always excited when I see that they have a new episode up. So, of course, I had to get it. And I was going to show this in acquisitions, but I'm not. It's in my sweet little sock bag made by, you guessed it, Amber. I love her bags, and I love that she used the paracord for the drawstrings because it's so smooth and sturdy. Like her bags, I can't say enough good things about her bags. I love them so much. I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 of them, and I need like 10 more. No, I have 5. I just counted one in there. Yep, I have 5. Then my other work in progress. That's a future cast on. I'll figure this whole podcasting thing out again. I just had a little bit of time today, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna podcast because it's been way too long. So my next whip, it's an itty bitty baby whip, but it is done with the same yarn that I finished a pair of socks in, a pair of shorties in. It is Red Rocks by Felici. This is the happiest, brightest, most amazing yarn. I love this colorway. I didn't think I would love it as much as I do, but I do. I love this colorway. And it is casted on this morning. It's like not even really a whip yet. I think I got 3 rows done on the toe. I have decided that I'm more of a toe up than a cuff down. But I will say that doing the jelly rolls, it was fun to do a cuff down again, because I've done the last like 2 or 3 pairs of socks I've done have been toe up. So there's that one. Then I have another whip. This is yarn from Curl and Her Wool. I lost the tag, so I'm not sure what the colorway is. Katie helped me cake it. Katie will not be helping me cake again because it's kind of messy. But again, I'm doing a little shorty sock. I'm doing these on 9-inch needles. I did the jelly rolls on 9-inch. I have really come to love 9-inch. I hated them at first. Okay, Kristen, yes, stop laughing. Because they're team 9-inch all the way. Maddie and Kristen from We Share Needles. They are team 9-inch all the way, and I could not for the life of me figure them out. I couldn't hold them right. They were fiddly. I didn't like them, which really frustrated me because I love hats so much. And one of the reasons I love hats is because you just knit in the round. Like, you don't do anything. You just continue to knit. Well, I finally figured out how to knit on a 9-inch needle, and it is now my absolute favorite. So this mini, I don't think it has a color name. It is from Bucks and Cat Knits. Surprise, surprise. And then, like I said, this is yarn from a girl in her wool. I'm not sure the colorway, but this is a little baby sock. I mean, it's going to be an adult sock, but it's really tiny right now. I did 14 row cuff, 10 rows, and then started the heel. That I noticed with this, when I was pulling yarn for summer sock camp, I didn't really think, oh yeah, I want to make shorty socks, not long socks, because I have more long socks than shorty socks and I need shorty socks. But I pulled yarn that I absolutely loved, that I want full socks out of. So I decided that I'm going to do contrast heels and toes, and sometimes cuffs. That way I can also make a full pair, a longer pair, if I do another contrast, or maybe even if I don't do a contrast. But because my full length socks are 65 to 70 grams, so I think that I will be able to either do the contrast on the longer socks or the contrast on the shorty socks, and I will have enough to get 2 pairs of socks out of each skein. So there's that one. And I have everything bagged up with needles and everything for somersault camp. This one I do not have started yet, but this is the next one I'm going to cast on. It is sock yarn from Maker. This was sent to me by my good friend Sue, all the way from Australia. And there is only a color number, 356. And I'm guessing it's self-striping, but I'm not positive. So I'm excited to work that up. I have not used it. It's just, I think I pulled a little bit for a first swap that I did. So I definitely have enough. And I was kind of thinking about doing a pink contrast. So let me know what you think and see if I should just do a simple vanilla sock with this, or if I should add a different color into with it. There's that one. And then I have one other. No, I don't. No, I don't, because I changed my mind on that. Oh, another amber bag. This is another amber bag. Yeah, most of my bags are from amber, and I absolutely love it. Now, let's get on to acquisitions. I think I have plenty to keep me busy, because life is so hectic. When I have a down day, I want to try and get, I work for the next 5 days, so I want to try and get at least the other one cast on, so that I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna make next. Something will always be cast on, and then the next time I have a day off or whatever, I can work on the heels, or, you know, I just want to have things ready to go. Now, acquisitions. Love that one out because I'm working on that. My first acquisition that I got, my friend Kai of Kai's Crafts and Crap. He's so cute. I love him. Dyed me some Knits and Tails yarn. This yarn is amazing. I think he has some in his shop. And he dyed it off the colors of my Knits and Tails, my little logo for Knits and Tails. And I thought that was the sweetest thing ever. And he sent me a skein. I did make a bottle cozy out of it, and I bound it off way too tight, so it's not usable. So I'm gonna go, that's why it's, I ripped it out and wound it back up in the cake. I was gonna cast on one of these for somersault camp, but I want a full pair as long as I can with this yarn. I want to get as much out of this yarn as I can. So there's that one. Then my friend Amber, being the sweetheart that she is, sent me some yarn. And I realized I forgot the prettiest one, but I'm not going to go get it. I'll show it next time. She dyed this one for me. I believe she dyed it for me. Yeah, because this is definitely hawthorne. So she dyed this one for me. Or she dyed it and gave it to me. I don't know if she dyed it special for me, but I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it's so, oh, it's fall. It looks like fire. I love it. There's that one. And then I got Escapade, by, surprise, surprise, Bucks and Catnets. This was a mystery skein, and once again, I was not disappointed. I've never been disappointed by her mystery skeins. That's the fun thing about dyers that you really like, is you know no matter what, if you can't decide and you just get a mystery skein, you know you're going to love it because you like their dye style. And she's pretty much my favorite dyer of all time. So there's that one. Then Amber got some, I do talk to her all the time. She's one of my best friends. So she will probably come up in the podcast quite a bit. She was showing me, she got some new like cubbies, and she was showing me all her yarn, and I was like, Amber, what is that? And she showed me a picture, and I'm like, tell me you dyed that so you can recreate it, because I need it, because it's just so fall, and it's so pretty, and I love it. A few days later, guess what came in the mail? These two beauties. So here's the first one. I love it so much. There's that one, and then this one is mostly purple, but then it has the green and the orange speckles, and it's just stunning. So these definitely have to be a two skein shawl or a two skein project of some sort. If anybody has any ideas, please let me know, because these are getting cast on October 1st, because it's fall. October 1st is fall. I know September is, but it's October. October's my favorite month of the year. If my birthday couldn't be in October, I'm glad one of my children's is. Except this October, she turns 18. I don't feel much older than 18 myself. How do I have an 18-year-old? Someone explain this to me, please. So there's those, and I absolutely love them, and I cannot wait. Is it weird that she has her own shelf back here? She does. Amber has her own shelf on my yarn cubby. And then she dyed this one, which I absolutely love. This, oh, I don't know if I want it to be socks, but I love that. I love the color for socks, and I love the yarn for socks, but I kind of think it'd be an amazing Musselburgh, and it'd be an amazing Pembroke shawl. Just the one skein shawl. It's probably one of my favorite. It's one of my go-to patterns for one skein. So there's that one. And then her local yarn store was going out of business, and she sent me a picture of a wall, and she said pick. So of course I picked, and she sent these to me. They are Enzula Luxury Fiber, 10% superwash, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon in the colorway Rust and Sexy. So whatever I make it out of it is going to be Sexy Rust. That's what I shall call it. Are you sensing like a theme? I didn't realize I had a color scheme until that. Until I looked at it, and I'm like, I see it. I sense a theme here. So yep, these are each 50 gram skeins, and they are so soft and so squishy. I have no idea what I'm gonna make with them. Absolutely not socks. I was thinking maybe mitts, or I could stripe them into a cowl. I don't know. So if you have any ideas for these, it needs to be an accessory. They're only 50 grams, so I have 100 grams total. I was kind of thinking doing a Macy cowl with thick stripes of each color. That could be really pretty. Anyway, thoughts for another day. And then I actually got some stuff today that I'm super excited about. Where I lived in Washington, I did not have any place to display my yarn like I do now. I can give you a really quick yarn tour without having to move too much. This is all my hand dyed. Most of it is either hood fibers or buckskin cat knits. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. This is fingering gloss with some cheap worsted up here that I need to figure out what to do with. This is all my Felici. May have a problem. Yeah, the problem is I don't have more. And then in the back has a sweater's quantity of the current. I want to do the memory sweater out of this, or cardigan, one of these days. And then there's just some cheap acrylic down here that I don't know what to do with, but I brought anyway. And if I got rid of any of the yarn that I have on this wall, Dawn would probably shoot me because I was very, very, very adamant on bringing it all. So it made packing difficult. Again, this over here is, there's some hood fiber here. Knit Picks Hawthorne, and these are some cheaper yarns that I will probably make a shawl out of or something. So yeah, it's my little yarn. It's on the wall of my bedroom, and I can't tell you how happy I am to have it all displayed. And I was finally able to set my knitting things up like I've always wanted. There. I have always wanted a nice basket to hold all my whips, and I got one today at Walmart. I saw it, I fell in love with it, and I was very glad I went and picked Dawn up for lunch. But it is a Pioneer Woman, like, collapsible tote basket with handles, something like that. I absolutely love it. It goes beside my chair in the living room, and then that way all my whips are contained, and little hands Sam, he doesn't get into them because he won't get into the bags, but he likes to throw the bags everywhere, and then I can't find them, and then I get upset and not happy. He likes to hide them from Mom, and that's not cool. So I have this beside my chair. I have 2 or 3 Notions tins in it, just so I have what I need on hand. But I've always wanted little bowls, like Nitty Natty has, for like stitch markers, light bulb, all that stuff. So I got these cute little bowls, and it matches my little bag. This is my light bulb stitch markers. Then I have my snagless that I make. There's some with the bigger beads like that, and then that one's a clear one. I can't show that one very well. Here's another one. And then I have quite a few like that with the littler beads in this bowl. Then in the next bowl, I got these little rings from I can't remember where I got them, but they have all my progress keepers on them. These are my Halloween progress keepers. I have a lot more, but I just don't have them unpacked yet. So my Halloween, and then like my everyday, and then my cute fancy stitch markers, like the hanging stitch markers in that bowl. And then they just go right up here, out of the way, and they look really cute, and I've always wanted them like that. So I'm super excited that I'm able to have everything organized, and yeah, it makes me happy to have all my knitting stuff out and displayed like I want it to. Obviously it's well, not obviously, you guys aren't here, but it's in my room, and that's actually the best place for it and where I would prefer it to be, because I have children and they get into things, except for Mom's room. Oh, wow. That wasn't very long. I normally talk longer, but I'm kind of out of practice and trying to hurry so I can get an episode up without interruptions. I think they went to the park, but it kind of is starting to look like it may rain, so I would not be surprised if I did not see them very shortly. Life updates. We moved. Either before this video or after this video, I am going to add in some pictures of the move and kind of our adventures since we've lived here. There is an amazing park. It's about maybe 5 minutes away from our home, and it has hiking trails, and it's absolutely amazing. I love it. It's something that our family really enjoys doing. It's a little difficult with Sam because he wants to walk. He does not want to be carried. And the trails, I can't put him in a stroller or anything. So it's definitely more of a hike than it should when we have Sam, because he wants to look at everything. It's almost like when you take a dog for a walk and they have to stop and smell everything. Well, Sam has to stop and look at everything. And when I say look, I mean, oh, okay. It's like, Sam, come on, buddy, let's go, let's go. But it's still a blast. It's great family time. I have pictures of that. I have some pictures of the road trip. We moved from Washington State to Kentucky. It was 32 hours driving. Oh, it was quite the trek, but we did it. All of us came out sane, which is more than can be expected, because it was quite a long journey and tiring, and I was really worried that Sam was going to have a really hard time with it, and he really didn't. There was only a few times that he was like, you know, I'm done with this. Just get me the hell out of this van. But other than that, he did really, really good. The other kids did amazing. I didn't hear are we there yet? Can we stop? Like, the only times they said anything about stopping for the night was when it did get really late, because there was one really late night. Other than that, they did great. Actually, I have a little story time real quick. It was our first night, or our second night. I think it was our second, maybe it was our first. I can't remember. One night we were actually in Yellowstone National Park, and I went around a curve, and the speed limit in Montana is 80. And I was going about 75, 80, but I knew where we were, so I really kind of started to slow down to about 60, because I knew there was going to be wildlife everywhere. And I turned a bend, and I see a herd of probably 15 to 20 elk, and the bull elk that was right in front was as big as my van. And I was like, okay, we are so loaded down, because we just moved with the van. We didn't have a pull behind, we didn't have anything. We just had like our essentials in the van and us. And I knew we were heavy, so if I would have slammed on my brakes, it wouldn't have been good. So I just slowly, but as fast as possible, like, stopped the van. And we were probably about that far from the elk. Sorry, Kennedy just texted me. So we were, obviously we weren't that far, but it felt like it. We were probably 2 feet away from the bull elk, and it was terrifying. Let me say, it woke everybody up. Everybody was wide awake, and thankfully our hotel was probably 15-20 minutes from there. And I have never been so happy and thankful to see our hotel, because I was ready to be done. Like I said, it was 21 hours or 31 hours and 2,100 miles, and we did it amazing. The kids did amazing. Like I said, I think I did amazing because I drove the whole way. I was definitely done and ready to be out of the car when we got here. We showed up Saturday night. We stayed in a hotel Saturday night. We were able to come look at our new apartment. We got the apartment the day after we got here, and it was perfect timing. It couldn't have worked out better than the way it did. We got into our apartment complex has 6 apartments, so it's not huge, it's not big, and everyone here is great. We got into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with an ensuite and a walk-in closet, and the amount of room we have compared to what we had in Washington is unreal, and I am beyond thankful for the opportunities that we have gotten since we've got here, or we've had since we got here. I was able to find a job. We got here on a Saturday, and my first day was that next Friday, so we weren't even here for a whole week before I got a job. Dawn got a job shortly after that, and so we're both working now. And Kennedy, who used to live with my mom, now lives with us. So that's another big change. It's amazing having her here. It really is. Our family is complete, and while it's a lot of adjusting for everybody. Our home is a lot different than my mom's home, and going from essentially being an only child to having to watch a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 3-year-old every day while we were at work is quite the adjustment, especially at 17. But I can say that she has absolutely 100% rocked it. I'm a little crooked, I'm sorry. Oh, I can't get it to... Sorry about that. She has 100% rocked it. The kids did better in school this year than in the short time that they were here, than they did back home. Like I said, I've got a job. Dawn's got a job. Things are definitely looking up because they were not looking that great in Washington. Cost of living is outrageous. Finding a job in the area that we were in was very, very difficult. So while it was a very, very scary move saying goodbye to my family, it was the best decision we have ever made as a couple, and we tell each other that almost daily. So I'm really glad that things are slowing down, calming down. I'm able to start knitting again. I'm super excited that I was able to podcast today because I have missed it so much, and I really hope to grow my channel and be more involved in the online yarn community. And now that things are better, not only financially but mentally as well, what it's done for my mental health moving here, and hold on, what moving here has done for everybody's mental health and everybody's physical health. It's been amazing. It's, like I said, it's the best move and best decision we've ever made as a couple and as a family, because we did talk to the kids about it. We used to live here. We lived here for about 10 months in 2017 to 18. Yeah, 17 to 18. I actually got pregnant with Sam in Henderson and found out after we had moved back home. We had to move back home because of Kennedy's dad, and we stayed. We always wanted to come back, but with having Sam, I wanted to be around my mom, and I still want to be around my family, but it's not that part of the state just isn't good for us. It's just, there's nothing there for us, and sometimes you just have to make the big scary moves, because the scariest things sometimes are the best things. You have to fight your insecurities and sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone, excuse me, stepping out of your comfort zone is probably, it's scary but worth it. So if there's something that you want to do and you know deep down it's the best decision, it's just a scary one and you're afraid to do it, do it. Just have the faith and just do it, because I can't tell you how many times that we had dreamed about moving back here. Like, we'd be sitting there listening to music and having a few beers and, okay, let's move, let's go. And then I'd be like, well, I can't leave Kennedy and my family, and I don't want to leave them. And it got to the point where staying for my family wasn't enough, that I needed to do what was best for the family that was with me. And I'm also super excited. In July 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, I will be in Kansas City visiting my family. I'm so excited. I get to go visit my step grandma. Well, she's my grandma. I get to go visit her and everybody else that is down there, my cousins, my aunts, my aunt, and my uncles. And I'm so excited to see everybody and see their babies and see their families. We were down there we were up there for about 4 years ago for only 2 days, and we weren't able to see everybody. So hopefully this time we're going to be able to see everybody. I will take pictures, I will take some videos, maybe do a little vlog on it, because everybody is so excited. Kennedy has met them, but she was only 3. So if you ask her, she has never met them. She doesn't remember it. So when I get to introduce Sam to everybody, and I'm super excited about that. Other than that, there's really not much upcoming things. I know that next month I want to try and get to, there's a local yarn store about 20 minutes from me, and I do not want to go unless I have lots of spending money because then I would just be teasing myself, right? So yeah, that's about it. Hopefully get a trip into the yarn store and going to Kansas City. Other than that, we're just working and getting back into a routine, and yep, that's about it. So if you have any ideas for what I can do with some of those skeins, the rust and orange one being top of the list, and then the other 2 that need to be a 2-skein project, if you have any ideas or suggestions for those, please let me know. Please comment. I love reading your comments. I love interacting with everybody. I do have an Instagram account. It's Knits and Tales. Well, Knits and Tales on Instagram. And then also I have an email, knitsandtales@gmail.com. And if you have a story that you would like me to tell, please, please, please send it to me. Unfortunately, the last few episodes I haven't really had stories to tell, and I haven't had the mental space to look up the stories myself. So I would love to, again, get more involved in this channel and get more involved with you all and become a positive member in this amazing, amazing community. So please leave me a message, like, comment, subscribe, all that. I almost said happy for shit. I'm not stealing that. All that fun stuff. And again, I'm so glad to see you all, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.